I think your mic might be muted. We got the tunes going. I like that. Dude, I can't hear you perfectly. Is it me?
Hello?
Oh, there we go. How's it
1, 2, 3 XRP. How's it going? Oliver, welcome to the show. Mati,
Thank you.
I'll just let you hear what we're hearing right now before we get to the main event. This is Rufus the Soul Sundowner mix. This guy is killer.
Nice.
It's the guy called, what's his name? Gander. So he's like, YouTube fans give him a villa in Bali and he goes to play there. And as you can see, he gets like a ton of views over there. Excellent DJ. Welcome to the show, Jonathan, Mati, and Oliver. We have you all here. Let's do a quick mic check. Tell me your favorite kicker on 3.
Our favorite what?
Ticker.
My favorite ticker's got to be Jooce.
Jonathan, Mati.
No favorite kicker for me.
No favorite ticker.
I think you're talking about football, right? Or soccer?
No, ticker is like... yeah. So welcome to the show.
Hello.
Welcome to the...
Now I'm lost completely.
Let me see. Welcome to... I'm going to get this squared back. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's a bright Tuesday morning over here. We are towards the end of 2024. Everyone's going to start putting out their thesis and their watch list for 2024 very soon. And, it's going to be interesting to look at last year's watch list and thesis and see who got it right. But I think not even the greatest bull could have predicted that we would have had a wipeout, Republican victory, like Trump bidding Bitcoin to, 100, 200, 300, 400 and way up. And, the US getting some favorable regulations finally to start advancing this industry. And essentially, as Mati always says, the age of abundance is upon us. So thank you for joining us for what could be one of our last shows for 2024. It's been an incredible year. Before we start, I'll kick it over to Mati for a bit of a market update. And then we'll get to know our guests a little bit better and see what they have cooking.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. Skies are green. Crypto is moving up, especially Bitcoin. We're having a good day.
Is it just me or did he freeze? Did he freeze?
Yeah, he's frozen for me.
Okay. Guys, well, Mati gets it figured out. That, welcome to the show, Oliver and Jonathan. Maybe you want to, Oliver, maybe take it from you. Like, give us a vibe check. How you're feeling right now about, where we are in this point in history.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard not to feel good. It's something that I kind of didn't expect to end the year like this, but I'm really happy that we are, and I think for us there's a lot of exciting things ahead of us. We've been building for 4 years, pretty much when we launched Future in 2021, with the goal of building on-chain asset management infrastructure. We unfortunately, it was like in the DeFi summer when we sort of raised the money, but we never really released until I think after the bull market. So for us, this is like we've been waiting for this for so long to now have like positive price movement, positive sentiment in the market, and people are now much more willing to build and do business. And I think it's 2025 should be an exciting time.
Excellent. I think those people who were building in the bear, if you had your rails ready to go, because now everyone's trying to catch up in the bull market, like catching the money rotations. Now XRP's pumping, now AI agents are pumping. like all the Web2 companies are starting to pivot back into the space, and I think it's great that the natives we have that advantage. Those that have built through the bear, and one such guy is Jonathan or Moshe Malawach. Malawach is one of our favorite foods over here at Yalla Bitcoin. It's a delicious, crispy, baked treat. You eat it like savory with some egg, with some tahini, which is also one of the restaurants that bought Bitcoin, and you have a wonderful treat. So we're proud to have Mr. Malawach with us on the show. Someone also who's built through the bear. How's this? I'm sure you're enjoying the green candles as well.
Hey, yeah. Well, honestly, the market is great. It's looking great. I'm a bit worried about what will happen in the future with Bitcoin and stuff like that. But for now, the market is great, honestly. And well, thanks for having me today here. I'm really happy to being here. The market is good, but alt didn't pick up at all yet, and perhaps it's by design because the world money flew into Bitcoin coming from TradFi, and I'm not sure it will be able to flow into alts like it did in the past. We will see. So I'm happy with what happens. I'm looking into start of year to be really optimistic, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying about the down the risk curve. Back in 2021, there was maybe 1 in 1,000 the number of tokens and tickers out there, and there was a lot of VC money chasing a lot fewer coins. Now it's not so certain that all the money coming in through ETFs or through MicroStrategy is going to land up buying your fart coin bags. But that's kind of the question over here.
Did you? I'm sorry, I was presenting. I was presenting my screen. I don't know if you. I think it cut off instead. So did you catch any of what I said?
Absolutely zero. You're gonna have to take us from the top.
Jeez Louise. All right. Well, maybe you can. Okay. I'm sitting there presenting, and I'm like, and obviously
if it's not a fart coin chart, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it's just Bitcoin. No, just Bitcoin. Yeah, like I was saying, clear skies ahead. The weather is beautiful in Bitcoin land. We have gone through this upward consolidation process, testing the 100K as support. The test has held. I would now venture to say that Bitcoin is the 100K is no longer the ceiling, but it is now the floor. And you mentioned the Bitcoin dominance, that the altcoins are not catching up. And this is something that I told Cointelegraph even before the election, is that this next rally is going to be about Bitcoin, because of the institutional adoption, because of the nation state adoption, which I've been talking about for a year and a half now. That's happening in a very, very real way. That's not to say that there aren't altcoins out there that will not do well. I'm personally watching Dogecoin. Dogecoin, with the support of Elon Musk. Dogecoin is a meme coin that literally is about to occupy the Pentagon and Congress and all of the rest of the government buildings, the FBI and everything. So definitely one to watch out for. It's trading at 40 cents right now. Anything under $1 is to me is just easy money. And then I would also take a look at Pepe, because if you look at Elon Musk's tweets lately, they have been featuring the Pepe meme. Pepe has been integrated within Grok. So a lot of Grok outputs are now giving Pepe memes and stuff like that. So I think that Elon Musk is probably holding a nice big bag of this kind of stuff. So pays to have them in your moon bags. And then, of course, as you all know, we've been building out Korra. We had a grand pre-sale yesterday for the Korra public pre-sale launch, and we're building a DeFi AI agent, or an AI agent to help people with DeFi, basically a mobile wallet that anybody can download, and it helps you from beginners. Like it doesn't even tell you, like, you know, all the wallets do, like, this is your private key. If you lose your private key, you're going to be fucked. No, it just, you know, log the user in, let them buy some Bitcoin. The AI agent can actually execute transactions on your behalf at this moment. And then obviously down our roadmap, you know, we're thinking about the type of AI agents like A16Z and, you know, Claude and, you know, Truth Terminal, those type of, give it like type of personality. And when we imagine reinvesting, it's more like talking to a friend or talking to somebody who can help with your transactions and then execute on behalf, similar to the way people used to invest through a broker over the telephone, but now utilizing the best technologies, blockchain on the back end to make sure that things are free and fair, AI on the front end to make sure that it's user friendly. And of course, if you want to participate in that, head on over to Korra.finance, whitelist your wallet for the pre-sale. We're raising only 600,000 right now. And that will last for up to 8 weeks or until we hit our cap. So definitely happy to have everyone on board who believes in this future as we do.
Great show, Mati. 10 out of 10. Thank you for that update. You know, I want to kind of just, with your permission, share a little thoughts I've been having about the market. I feel a lot of FOMO right now. You know, I don't know if you guys are penguins, but like I missed out on the Pengu airdrop, and then I try to like whitelist my wallet on the Discord, and it just didn't work. And there's, you know, Hyperledger, and there's so many massive opportunities that, you know, and my bags are a lot in the Bitcoin ecosystem, you know, the runes and the ordinals, and that's been absolutely getting hammered of late. I still have quite a bit of conviction over there. I think that Bitcoin season 2 will become prominent as we move into 2025, as more upgrades get done to the mainnet to make it more compatible with these assets and tier 1 listings. You know, none of the Bitcoin assets have gotten tier 1 listings. Once that happens, it's a major catalyst, and it's only a 2-year-old project. So I think it's quite an opportunity. And then I want to just share a little bit about MicroStrategy, because MicroStrategy is on an absolute tear. Like, you know, that when I saw this, I was absolutely mind blown. The amount of Bitcoin that these guys are actually buying is insane. So if you look at this chart, right, the MicroStrategy Bitcoin Treasury Reserve, they started it at the end of 2020. So previous bull run, at the beginning of the previous bull run, you know, as it was warming up, Michael Saylor announces, listen, we're going to stop buying Bitcoin for our treasury reserves. And that kind of led up until, you know, let's go up until Q4 2023. So this time last year, Michael Saylor had bought in 189,000 Bitcoin for this treasury. He's bought that since the elections alone, 189,000 Bitcoin since the election. This guy used to be buying Bitcoin $10 million, $15 million, and now he's buying them at, you know, at 10-figure clips. He's gonna have a $10 billion bar coming up very soon, sooner than we expect. And that it just goes to show which state of the cycle we're in. Nation states getting involved. Michael Saylor knows that, you know, he'd rather sell shares of MicroStrategy and keep that multiple, the NAV multiple, a bit lower in order to raise the money so he can buy Bitcoin at this price, because he knows that once Mohammed bin Salman and Donald Trump and the Vladimir Putin, and as you see what's happening in the world, like all these you know, liberal lefty governments are collapsing. If it's in France and in Germany and Canada, one of the finance minister or one of the ministers just resigned, and they're all getting crumbled. And the abundance accelerationist government, you know, the libertarians of El Salvador, of Javier Milei, of Donald Trump, like those guys are succeeding and taking us to where we need to go. So I think when that happens, Bitcoin is going to be that, the reserve currency that everyone uses, and by then, only the Lord knows how much of those Bitcoin Sailor will have. So let's go a little bit more into our guests today. We heard a little bit about them. Mati, they gave a little market rundown. They've both been around since the building, since the bear, and we will hear now more in depth, starting from Oliver and then Jonathan S. Malawach. Let's hear from you guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Let me kind of jump into a little bit about my story. So I started in 2017. I was working for a family office at the time, and one of the founders came in with the Wall Street Journal and was like, Bitcoin, we need to start looking at Bitcoin. I was like, okay. And so we started looking at Bitcoin, started looking at Ethereum, we started investing into it. And honestly, before we was doing sort of traditional stuff, and then after that sort of like watershed moment, we never did traditional stuff anymore. It was all crypto, and we moved into the ICO boom of 2017, and we was running around London like trying to find like the hottest deals and trying to get allocations. And eventually, we got approached by EOS VC to run the London arm of the EOS VC network. At the time, we thought,
oh, crazy, bro! I was also in EOS back in the day.
Yeah,
we should have therapy together.
Yeah. We'll get them
like 17. I'm like, this is going to 100. This is going to the moon. It could barely cross like 3 since then. Yeah, I remember the EOS.
Yeah.
We'll get into that as well. It's lovely to hear someone from that space as well. But they were raising quite a bit of money at the time. I mean, they had $4 billion to deploy from block 1.
Yeah, they raised a boatload of money, and I remember like saying to people like, how can these guys fail? They've got so much money, they could just lean on the market and just win, right? But it didn't end up happening. But we ended up essentially investing. It was a $15 million venture fund, and I was the analyst and partner there, and essentially we were investing into blockchain-based businesses or businesses that were using blockchain to improve their product and service. And I sort of did that for I think 3-4 years. And then at some point, I wanted to move over to like the entrepreneurial side and kind of start to cook on that side. And so that's when I started Future. We raised $4 million back in 2021 to launch the project. We've really built 2 major iterations of our protocol. Future V1 is a single chain asset management protocol. The largest index we run at the moment on that is the Colony Avalanche Index, which is essentially an index that tracks the Avalanche ecosystem. There's around $5 million in that at the moment. We typically work B2B, so we'll partner with other brands that want to have indexes, passively managed funds, actively managed funds, etc., that have engagement, have distribution, have awareness, and we provide the full technical solution. And then more recently, we've recently released Future V2, which is the world's first non-custodial multi-chain asset management platform. So now we can hold assets across any EVM-enabled Stargate chain and hold assets and manage them within an index fund multi-chain. And so, with that, we've started to sort of look at like what are the most exciting use cases that we can, apply that to. And one of those is Jooce, which I'm sure we'll get into a bit later.
Thanks, bro. That sounds insane. I mean, I definitely want to pick at the EOS thing a little bit.
What's the website for the asset management platform?
Future.finance is our like homepage for us. Yeah.
So I want to kind of pick on the EOS thing a little bit because I think there's a lot of lessons. I was working back at the time with one of the larger BPs in EOS. We were based out of Israel. If you remember the time, Bancor was launched an EOS BP, so it was that same like crew, and they try to go head to head with the Chinese BPs at the time, and the Chinese BPs that figured out EOS was basically 1 token, 30 votes. So you could vote for a whole number of block producers, validators with 1 token. So that ended up just creating the maddest collusion, and the proof of stake, the delegated proof of stake consensus just failed. But more than that, it was just, raising too much money too quickly. And once block 1 had that 4 bill, they had zero incentive to actually build something, and it's a shame, you know. And even the guys who try to revive EOS, like started an EOS foundation, that they moved to Bitcoin, so it's like, you know, completely. But even though it's completely dead chain, it's still pumping. It's still like I turn on Coin Market Cap and it's still up like 30% on the day. It's absolutely bonkers.
It's a lot of institutional playing with EOS as well. So when they look at like liquidity and liquidity plays and stuff like that, roadbook trading and whatnot, I mean, it's an OG coin, so why not?
Yeah, a Dano coin. Jonathan,
what? Never die, right? And it's like, what do they say? Like rock and rollers never die. So you know, OG,
bro, I met a guy I met a guy. I won't tell you where I met him because the Jews get enough hate as it is. But I met a guy in Singapore, right? And he was like, what he was doing, he had like a prop trading shop where he would wait for a coin to be delisted on Binance, and then he would buy it and trade it on other exchanges. So he would trade dead coins, you know, and once in a while it would get relisted or there would be a pump or whatever. But like they were trading delisted coins. So there was, you know, the point is that even FTT is running now. So like just because it was a scam coin, like there's still people still trading it up and down, you know?
Of course. I think we should revive BitConnect. You know,
what's up?
What's up?
Okay, Jonathan, how about yourself? We'd love to know a little bit more about you.
Well, so my real name is Jonathan, but my name on Twitter, Telegram, etc. is Moshe Malawach, because I started anonymous, and you know, like your agent name is your second name, which is Moshe. And the last thing you're like ate, and that day I ate a Malawach, so like I became Moshe Malawach. And I really love Malawach, to be honest. And I really want to like know about that place that accepts Bitcoin and where you can buy Malawach. I need to like go there, honestly.
Yeah, that's we'll have that in the Yalla village when we open the Yalla kibbutz at 1 million. We'll have Malawach or Lightning Network Malawach.
Let's do that. And so, well. I've been in crypto for like a long time, but at one point, it was in 2017, 2018, I was like, I really want to be able to like make big application. Like I want to create a Twitter, a Facebook, a YouTube, etc. And I just couldn't because there wasn't any tools to like being able to like do it. And that's how Aleph.im was born. Aleph.im is a decentralized cloud platform, like whatever you can do with AWS, you can do it on the Aleph cloud. So like you can start virtual machine, start storage, like request for storage, create instances, etc. I can do a quick demo of it later if you want. And the thing is, once that you have that cloud, what do you want to build on it? And that's how Liberty AI is born a year or so ago. And with Liberty AI, the idea is that your agent, your AI, your inference, because there is a few parts into the AI side of things, like you have the inference, which is when you ask a model to like complete a sentence or like answer your question, just like ChatGPT and OpenAI API. This runs on the Aleph cloud using what we call confidential inference. It's like that AI inference is running inside TEE, Trusted Execution Environment, so that no one can see what you are talking with your model. And that's especially useful for agents because right now we are all playing with like agents on Twitter or like whatever. That's cool, but the real future is when agents will have all your personal data, all your private keys, and will be able to act on your behalf. Or like perhaps one of the shards of your keys or whatever, but they will be able to like use your money. Like, take me that plane for that place on that day. Yeah, please do it. And then your plane ticket gets taken. Or like, please trade that shit coin for me. I really want to like make some bucks on that meme coin.
We already doing in Korra as well.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that if your private key is inside that agent needs to run somewhere. Like, as we say, there is no cloud. The cloud is someone else's computer. And at Aleph Cloud, what we do is that we take everyone else's computer that they can put on our network, and it becomes a cloud. The thing is that the people to who this computer belongs can see your private keys, unless you are using secure enclaves, trusted execution environment, threshold cryptography, etc., etc. And that's what Liberty AI is building. An agent framework that is built on totally secure technologies, so that your agents are totally confidential and encrypted and run with encrypted RAM, etc., etc., etc. So that's Liberty AI, and I'm also the founder of Aleph.im and Aleph Cloud, which is that cloud platform it runs on.
So just to be clear, the cloud is not something that exists above us, as former vice president would say.
Exactly. The cloud is just someone else's computer. And then the thing is that, how are you taking it? Like, either you can trust this someone else, like you can trust Amazon, and then you trust all your private keys to like AWS, Amazon, or Google Cloud, or Ali Cloud, etc. Or
Google, we can trust Google. I think we can trust Google. Google's trustworthy, right?
Perhaps. Who knows? The thing is that if you trust them, yeah, okay, but if you start from the beginning and say, okay, it's someone else's computer, so like anyone can become the cloud, and that's how Aleph Cloud works, and then you make secure assumption, and you make a secure system on top, so that even if it's someone else's computer, it's still secure.
As in, you find a way to encrypt the data that's stored in, because my private keys or whatever that the agent is running has to be stored somewhere. So you find a way to store it on a third-party computer, but it's in a way that they can't. It's sort of air gap. They can't access that if they want to.
Exactly, and like even the whole inference side, which is the generative part of generative AI. This part needs to be encrypted as well, because if not, the one that does that inference can see what you are doing, and even private keys could like leak, or they could change answers that the bot gives you to like extract private keys or change trades or whatever. Because right now we didn't see a big drama about it, but when there is a $100 million DAO which runs with an LLM and with an agent set that manages that DAO, that will come in the coming months, years. That will come. When one of these gets hacked, then everyone will understand why it's needed.
Yeah, no, it makes sense that you need to build agents that have wallet access in a secure way. I think, I'm curious to hear if you've, like what you kind of, on the Liberty AI side, on the, more consumer facing side, because AI has always had a lot of development, in terms of the back end, the infrastructure, the security. But in 2022, we had like the ChatGPT moment where, the users just got it in bulk. And now in 2024, we're seeing the crypto version of that with all these agents. A lot of people were talking about the agent, like a lot of people saying it's not so different to like the chatbot that you used to have on Facebook, but this is something else. This is an agent that's learning, that's improving, that's developing personality. Like ARXBT called someone a retard the other day. Like someone was asking him for like a stock, or a ticker or whatever, and he called him and they have their own personality and they're learning and they can be integrated in with data sources and do their own researches. And not even that, they can even take action, like financial action. So the one AI ordered graphics from another AI, and it's like agent to agent commerce. It's just them. I think we've hit that ChatGPT moment, everyone was wondering when's it going to come for crypto, and I think the AI side is definitely that for
To be
crypto.
fair, if you go into like Wall Street bets on Reddit, for example, people calling each other retarded all day long there, it's actually a compliment. So maybe the AI thought he was paying the trader a compliment. He was like, "Oh, you're such a retard." Yeah, no.
Malawach meme coin coming up, but I want to hear, Jonathan, have any of you guys created an AI agent before? Like, I'm semi-technical, so I try to do it with the AI 16Z framework, and I hit a few snags. I tried virtual as well, but virtual and other platforms, it's quite costly to set up an agent. I want to like a cheap, and I think there's sort of a gap over there for that B2C side of agent creation, to make it easy, like a pump fund, so to speak. So I'm wondering if any of you guys have created any AI agents, like on the fly.
The thing is that there is two different sides. The whole agent name got hijacked by like agents meme coins lately, because an agent is just some kind of a feedback loop where you ask questions, the AI answers itself, and there is no human asking question to like the agent unless there is. But the agent can do stuff by itself. It can call functions. What we call function call is when you give, like, let's say, just like in computer programming, you could have a function which is buy coin with a ticker, a value, for example, and then you pass it to like your agent. And then your agent can like choose, instead of answering you, to like call this function. The thing is that this is what an agent is at the beginning. Then the whole meme coin stuff came, and like an agent became a Twitter account or like something that could have its own ticker and do stuff, either just as a meme coin or like even manage funds. But that's not what agents are at the beginning. And like what we just released at Liberty AI is an open source agents framework, which is really bare bone right now. It's just some place where you can define functions, pass it to like your agent, then your agent can do stuff. And you can deploy it on the Aleph cloud using command line, because it's still for developers. It doesn't cost much, like it costs something like $10 per month to like being able to like deploy your agent. So it's not expensive. The thing is that right now it's pretty bare bone, but there is just the part of adding support for Twitter, adding support for like financial data feeds. If you just add these functions, then you can have them in the framework. Yeah. And that's what we are building right now, which is like adding more stuff inside the agent framework, which is pretty similar to like the A16Z1, but it's in Python and not in Node.js. So it's pretty similar, except that when you deploy it on a decentralized cloud, and it's built inside the framework, the whole deployment part. And so by default, it can be unstoppable. And there is something quite interesting. If you look at the whole history of AI, like we are trying to build stuff, but there is always humans in control. And the part which every science fiction book talks about is AGI, like autonomous general intelligence. If we look at it from the market side of view, like how can you get to some place without human interfering, without the state interfering? Well, it's through the market, and crypto is perfect for that. If you can have AIs that pay for their own computing and stop if they stop paying for their own computing, and can transact without humans validating what they do, which is crypto, then you can get to like AGI, because they can pay for as much computing as they want in the world. They can grow by themselves. No human can come and stop them. And that's really fucking great.
So I wanna ask you the question we ask all our guests here. Yeah. What happens when we hit AGI? What are you going to do with it? Like, what everyone going to do? What we're going to do with our time? Like,
Yeah,
what are you going to do with our time? Like, what are you going to do with our time? Like, what everyone going to do? What are you going to do with our time? Like, what are you going to do with our time? Like, what everyone going to do? What happens when we hit AGI? What are you going to do with it? Like, what everyone going to do? What are you going to do with our time? Like, when we don't have to work, when we don't have to, when everything's automated, when the abundance is automated, it just flows into, you open your Phantom wallet, you see, my AGR just, pull the fart coin, and you go to, you go about your day. You don't have to go to work. What the rest of humanity going to do?
There will always be place for humans. Like, for now, it's just online. Like, it's not offline. Like, your AGI can't walk in the street, do stuff. It can't yet. Perhaps with humanoid robots, whatever, that's another story. But for now, it will be on-chain. It will be on-chain and off-chain only in the Web3 world. Like, this AGI won't have hands. So you will always need humans for now. So I don't think that humanity won't do anything. And also, I don't think that we get to a place where AGI is totally, like, we have a real AGI soon. I don't think so, but perhaps I'm wrong.
Oliver, what about you? What are you going to do when the robots take over?
I mean, Jonathan's right. I think there'll always be a place for humans. But I tell you what, if my AGI is bringing in the money, I'll go somewhere warmer and hang out on the beach.
But like I would love to hit the beach as well. But like at some point, like you're gonna miss you miss the game, you miss the hustle, miss the grind.
Exactly.
Like you know what I mean. So it's some sort of like human beings need something to do. Like I've seen the effects of early retirement. Like Donald Trump always says, to retire is to expire. And like I've seen that on people, how stopping early, retiring from work, and then they just get old super quick and stay indoors and don't do any, because there's nothing. They lack motivation. They lack anything to energize them. And we're gonna need to find, humanity's gonna need to find something else to energize them. These games don't hurt. Like we're gonna get airdrops every few days, like a fun game to play, on chain or whatever. But what else are we gonna do?
Video games.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I always feel like you just got to upskill, because now, like for example, you can see that with these large language models, a lot of the basic stuff that people used to pay for can be done through AI. So I think a lot of it is about people upskilling and doing more difficult stuff, because obviously the lower level stuff is being done by AI more and more now. So like, why do I need to pay like a website developer when I can just spin one up in like 5 minutes through AI? I think that's going to become more and more like the case, and so humans will have to go up the stack in order to provide value. I'd say that's my view on it, and I'm excited about the sort of agentic economy. And we're looking at how we can we're looking at how we can plug in funds directly into these AI these AI agents' capabilities, so that an AI agent can manage a public portfolio of assets, multi-chain, and then allow other people to invest into that fund, which is completely and wholly managed by an AI agent. And so we've been discussing that with Virtuals, using their game framework to figure out how we could build something like that and be the first index fund to be managed by an AI agent and publicly available for people to invest into. And it's something that we're currently actively working on, and hopefully we'll have something to show on that. So
that could be a lot of fun. I'd be very happy to hear once that's live. But you say upscaling, humans need to upscale, and I kind of get that. But the issue with that is like the jobs that are being replaced right now. I mean, these are the things that you and I did 10, 15 years ago that we actually did. And if we hadn't done that, we wouldn't have the experience today that allows us to upscale. Right. So where's the next generation going to get their start? Right. Like there don't going to be any entry level jobs open where they can get that kind of experience that's going to be required in order to upscale.
I want to get to, I'm not worried about the next generation. I'm worried about the previous generation. Like the next generation is going to be fine. They're going to be born into my son, your children, like they're 3-4 years old. They're going to grow up with agents, like agent friends. Like, my son already knows, like, okay, Google to set, to spark a voice command to get the music playing. Soon he'll be able to spark a voice command to, Papa, where's that music coming from?
You
Sorry.
said the word, dude.
That was a spark of command. Anyway, I think I think the agents are going to be very native to but the old generation, it's very hard to retrain like someone who grew up in a brick and mortar economy.
Okay, Google. Play
and I want to get demos from you, gentlemen, Oliver and Jonathan. I want to maybe see what you're working on, share some screen, hear a little bit more about your project. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors at Zengo. Someone just asked me on the way back from gym today. What we have sponsors. They sponsor the show.
2 different sponsors.
No, we have Zeng. We have sponsors. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
we made it. I told you.
So Zengo.
Told you.
Zengo is helping. Zengo, the deal with Zengo is very transparent. Like that, we get Yalla Bitcoin gets a affiliate commission if anyone goes and buys a Zengo Pro account, and part of that, large part of that money goes towards events, to doing for our community Tel Aviv event. Oliver will fly you out, and we'll get Moshe here as well. We'll throw Malawachs all over Jafnun, a nasty big event. So you guys
wait. How many Zengo Pro subscriptions do we need to sell to fly Oliver into a Malawach party? Who's gonna do this?
I think what's the KPI? It's probably we probably need maybe 50 subscriptions.
Can we? Okay, but 50 subscriptions, and then we can airdrop.
Then we can airdrop Oliver and the Malawach, but also Jonathan.
You guys could do that. You guys can do that. Come on.
Right, and Oliver jumping out of an airplane. With a Bitcoin or something. I don't know.
But we need.
I'll do some free promo.
But why Zengo? Why Zengo is because I think the next generation of Bitcoiners are not going to hold on a seed phrase wallet. It's a pain in the ass to have to worry about never losing your seed phrase. It's very hard to recover it if it's lost. There's no real plan for inheritance, and Zengo Pro makes all of that possible. There's no seed phrase. It's MPC technology that encrypts your keys. It's completely safe and air-gapped, 0 hacks so far. But more importantly, there's a convenience and peace of mind that if God forbid something would happen to you, and we live in very volatile times, so you never know when God forbid your head can meet a piece of Iranian lead on the street. So you want to make sure that the BTC is safe and secure. So I think for me, that inheritance feature is one of the most important things. So thank you to Zengo for being great. And now we'll move on to demos. Oliver, would you want to start us off at maybe talk a little bit more about your roadmap, your plans for 2025? This is your time to shine.
Okay, cheers, brother. Let me get into it. So, to Jooce, right, is where our focus is at the moment. Meme coins have been the hot topic for a little while now, and it's an area we decided to focus on and build a product there. But for the last 4 years, we've been building index funds, and one of the things we know is that once you get on chain, you're already a bit of a DJ once you're on chain, right? And so they typically want something a bit more exciting than your standard just index fund, right? People already usually have invested into a lot of these assets, so they need something more. And so that's what Jooce is aiming to provide. So really there's 2 key pillars to Jooce as a meme coin index. The first is that it's community driven, which means that people can buy the Jooce governance token, they can stake it, and they can lock it up for a varied amount of time. The longer you lock up, the more weight you get. And then you can vote for your favorite memes. The more votes your meme coins get, the more weight they're going to have in the index when we rebalance next. So we're calling this meme coin wars. People being able to compete for buy pressure within the index. And like I say, the more votes you get, the more buy pressure you ultimately receive. And we're hoping that this becomes a rite of passage for smaller meme coins, let's say $25 million plus. If they can gain a 1% vote within a $100 million index, that's $1 million of buy pressure being allocated to their token immediately. But the nice thing about the index as well is that it buys your token over time. So as the index grows in size, it'll consistently buy your asset. And I think a lot of meme coins are looking for that consistent buy pressure. So, we have some checks and balances in place that any meme coin that's going to get a gauge on which people can vote, it must pass certain requirements. It must be have been in the market for at least 3 months, minimum amount of locked liquidity, minimum market caps. All of these things need to be in place. Once those are in place, there's on-chain continuous voting all the time for which assets should be in the index and what weights should they have. So I think that's pillar one. And then pillar two for the degens is we need to provide high yield staking. There's not a ton of high yield staking opportunities for meme coins right now. And so what we're doing is, essentially, if you imagine you've got two markets, you've got the primary market where everyone is minting and burning, and then you've got the secondary market where the dexes are. We've locked the primary market. We typically used to have it permissionless, but we realized we're leaving too much money on the table by doing that. So now we lock the primary market. We are the only ones that can mint and burn on the primary market. So we are now crossing that spread and arbitraging two markets all the time, especially with meme coins being as volatile as they are. There's tons of arbitrage opportunities. So what we're doing with the profits is we're buying the Jooce token and then we're redistributing it back to people that stake the index and stake Jooce as well. And we've run some numbers on it, and it looks like it's going to be a very attractive proposition. I'm personally hoping once we go live that people will be able to get 3-figure yields on the index. So that's kind of where Jooce gets its name. Meme coin price exposure plus high yield staking equals memes on steroids. That's kind of where that's like how we.
I apologize, Oliver, but what is on a scale of 1 to 10? What's the risk level on this?
Well, it's as risky as holding meme coins. So 25. We're not going to be investing into like the very low level memes like the flash in the pan. So like a 15, yeah. Yeah. The yield is sustainably generated, because if the market goes up or down, there's arbitrage revenue that we can capture. But yeah, this is going to be a fun product for people to through a single token get exposure to 20, 30 memes and generate yield on top. So that's kind of the premise. Let me share my screen.
An index of memes, is that kind of what I'm getting? But you guys do proprietary trading on the back end, where you're trying to maximize the yield between arbitraging the difference between the prices of the memes on different exchanges. Is that what I understood correctly?
So you got community driven meme coin, right? So the weights are decided by the community. The ARB piece is it's very simple. It's just that there's a DEX price for the index, and then there's a true NAV price for the index, and we're going to just keep the two in line constantly making sure that the DEX follows the.
What does that mean, a true NAV price for the index? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so like there is the index holds a basket of assets, and each of them have their own price, right? So the index, you can calculate the true price of the index.
Yes. When you say assets, you mean meme coins.
Yeah. The meme coins each have a price, and we hold a certain amount of each of these meme coins. So if you add them all up, if you add the value of each of those together and divide by the total supply, that's the true index price. But that's not necessarily where the DEX is at. The DEX might be 5% off of that. It might be 5% below, 5% above. It may be more than that. So our job is to continuously keep those two markets in line. Now, when you make this permissionless, our bots are doing that all the time. That's what they're doing, and then they're capturing a spread. And if you look at traditional finance, they have something called an authorized participant. Every day, people are buying off of Robinhood, Trading 212, etc. And then there's these authorized participants that can actually go to the funds and say, right, I want to mint or redeem a big block of this ETF, and I'm gonna buy or sell it on the exchange. And they're only doing that for profit reasons. And so it's essentially what we're doing. We become like the authorized participant of this index, but instead of keeping the profits, we're going to redistribute them back to people that stake the index. And so like even if the market goes up, if it goes down, there's obviously ARB to be had.
And how much of the profits that you make off the ARB trading is redistributed?
Well, initially 100%. So initially 100% is going to be redistributed. 80% to people that buy the index, 20% to people that stake Jooce. Main reason being is that getting more capital into the index is our primary and core loop right now. So we're just aggressively
And
incentivizing
I
that.
assume like everything is like completely transparent in the way that you guys are holding all the holdings of the meme coins can be seen on chain.
Yeah.
Can your trading activity also be viewed by the general public, or is that more proprietary on the back end?
No, there's nothing. The good thing is nothing needs to be proprietary because our address is whitelisted. So even if you try to copy us, you won't be able to because your address won't be whitelisted to execute the operations that we're doing. But everything's
No,
transparent.
like if you guys place a trade or something on the index or on something like that, then is that also public information? You guys are sharing your wallets that you're trading from, basically.
Yeah, everything's going to be public. The entire index is going to be public and smart contract based. There's no like custodial elements to it, and then the arbitrage and the trading will be.
So you said that 100% of the money that you're making is actually distributed back to token holders. How do you guys make money then?
Well, that percentage will come down over time, but initially, like we're going to raise money for this project so we can afford to float it for a while, and we will bring that percentage.
You're running on VC money until then, basically. How much have you raised so far?
0. We've built everything to date ourselves, so the platform is completely ready to go. And the pre-sale we're looking to do early January. It's going to be a public pre-sale, sort of a fair launch style, where people can come and access the token, access the Jooce token for the first time. The product will be live at the same time, so they'll be able to stake it and start earning a yield. And yeah, we need to be aggressive, so we're going to give 100% of the profits away initially, and we'll bring that down over time to.
Everything about that pitch was super aggressive. It's like we're gonna all meme coins. We're gonna juice up the yield of the token stakers. This is as far right in the yield in the risk curve as you could possibly get, and it's the perfect time for it because people are hungry for that risk.
Investing in a meme coin was risky. I mean, try investing in the whole meme coin market. I love it.
I think it's I like the gamification model of like trying to get people to vote for their favorite meme. It creates sort of like a battle between that natural battle that already exists between the meme community.
I have to admit, I would personally never invest in something like this, but I like the idea. Honestly, it's pretty cool.
I'm just sharing my screen at the moment, just so you guys can get like a kind of an idea of the brand, right? So we've got a great artist that's building on this. We wanted to kind of have a memeable brand at the same time. So you've got like the Jooce dude in the middle, and then you've got other memes. And we have a really amazing, like we've been doing an airdrop campaign, announcing new partners. Bonk.
I see a few favorite. I see Mog. I see Pepe. Yeah, I see Doge is a bit smaller than he should be. Who's the yellow one in the middle? Is that Jooce?
That's the Jooce, bro. That's the main guy.
I see how you're positioning it. And then the little Remilio and Giga, it's a great lineup of gym bros, bro.
And like, so if you come to the meme coin, the wars tab, then you can see like, basically this is how it's going to look. Different coins with different weights. And then you can go ahead and like, you can vote for whichever memes you can split it between multiple, you can allocate it all to one. And this will basically dictate the next rebalancing. So the next rebalancing will look like this. And then as more people are voting, it will change over time. And so it gives people the ability to control how the index buys different memes.
How does the vote work? Is it one wallet, one vote, or one coin, one vote? How do you get voting power?
So basically, you go to the locker, right? And let's see if
of course you do.
Connected. Locker. Yeah, you go to the locker, you sign in. So you'll go to the locker, you'll lock up for a specific amount of time, up to a year. The longer you lock, the more weight you get. And then once you've locked up, let's see if I should have a lock on an account.
Is there anything preventing someone from gaming the vote, or I don't know, getting like too much power within the voting system?
Well, not really. I mean, if you're willing to buy enough Jooce to get like more votes, then it's up to you, and you can do that. One of the interesting mechanisms that's going to be at play here is essentially Well, Jooce will have a floor to it, right? We're looking to raise $5 million and put $2.5 million straight into the index and lock it. So if Jooce gets too cheap, you have two options. Imagine you want to buy 50K of a meme coin. You can buy 50K of your meme coin straight up, or you can buy 50K of Jooce. And if Jooce is cheap enough, it might get you 150K of buy pressure. So like Jooce having this locked capital in the index will have a floor price where it's like, oh, actually, it makes more sense to buy Jooce, lock that up, and vote for my meme coin, and then have the index buy 3 or 4 times what I was going to buy, plus get kind of like the power of the marketing engine behind Jooce as well. So that is kind of the rundown on what we're doing. We're looking to, like I say, go live. Everything's built from a product perspective. It's now just about getting the right time to launch the pre-sale, which is hopefully going to be around early to mid-Jan.
Cool. We'd love to have you back closer to the time, and maybe just say hello and ring the bell when the pre-sale goes live. Good luck with that. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. Is this on what chain is Jooce going to be on?
This is going to be on Base. So
okay.
The home chain will be on Base, but the assets we hold will be across the whole EVM.
Across anyone. Okay, I hear you. Yeah. No, because like I'm getting more into Base recently. You know, I think there's the USDC on Base has quite a juicy yield as well, and the meme game as well. So I'm like, you know, I think Base is going to be my L2 of choice for the coming run in the EVM section. Jonathan, I'd love to see what you're cooking as well, because you know I want to get that. I was going to ask you after you told me about your framework. I want to get that GitHub link to start downloading the repo and start working. So I'd love to hear you know where you're at in the process. Maybe see a little demo as well.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me share my screen. 1 second. Trying. Okay, works better like that. So, yep. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
No? I clicked on share my screen, but it's there. You perhaps need to activate it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All-in-one Web3 cloud.
Yeah. So like there is Aleph.im, which is the project, and the actual console, which is the product, just like you would go on Scaleway, AWS, Google Cloud, etc., which is 26.cloud. And there you can go and choose Web3 hosting. You can deploy your website. You can connect with your wallet, Ethereum, Avalanche, Base, or Solana to start paying stuff. You can create your own function, which is just like Amazon Lambda. Like you have some code functions that get called whenever someone goes to like your domain or custom URL, whatever, because you can link domains. It starts your code somewhere on the network and then processes whatever you did in your function and gets you back the result. And this is auto-scalable. Then you have instances. Yeah, exactly, Stefan. I need, and so you can create an instance, for example. I would need to like connect my wallet to like be able to like manually select a CRN, because this way I can select one of the nodes of the network where I want it to be running. And then I can select a node on instance size, for example, 2 CPU, 4 GB of RAM, 40 GB of SSD. I can set up my SSH key stuff, add volumes, whatever, and then I start paying. If it's pay as you go, I will pay tokens continuously by the microsecond. If it's just holding, I can just hold Aleph tokens and get my instance working. The confidential virtual machine are a bit similar, but you need to create them from command line because everything is encrypted end to end. So your computer needs to encrypt the whole volume and the whole data of your virtual machine and put them on and then send them directly to like the node that will be running your load. If we go on account.aleph.im, which is the interface where you can actually see the node, on the Aleph.im network, you have two kinds of nodes, the core channel nodes, which are the controllers of the network, and the computing resource nodes, which are the nodes that are actually running your workload. If we look at it, there are like 119 core channel nodes, which are the controllers of the network, and 657 computing resource nodes, which are running workloads. And when you select a node, you can select one of these to like say, I want to run my workload on this node. And then you can see who is running it. If it has terms and conditions, accept them. Some nodes might even need KYC in the future because it will be institutional players who are running it. Like, let's say you have a cloud company wants to start running nodes on the network. They will want to have people sign their terms and conditions. Right now, it's not live yet, but this part will be live in the future. And then you can select nodes where to run your stuff on. So that's cool, but that's not the AI side. Even if there, we will have the GPU coming soon there in January, where you will be able to like choose a node, choose which GPU on that node you want and set up a virtual machine there. You can even have your own website with your own custom domains. That works. We have also VRF, verifiable random function. We have an indexing framework that's interesting for agents because you can index data on Solana and like most EVM chains. Now let's go on the Liberty AI side, which is what is interesting for the AI part of this. So we have the chat application. So that's pretty much close to ChatGPT. You have personas that are just like agents on virtuals, if you might. You can create one. I can duplicate and create trading assistant, blah, blah, blah. Or the best trader ever. Knowledge bases is some kind of just like a Google Drive, where you can upload all your personal documents and they stay encrypted end to end, and your persona can have access to like your knowledge DB and access data there dynamically using RAG for those who know what it is, resource augmented generation. So boom, so yeah, I just created my trading assistant. I can choose a specific model. The biggest model, you need to connect a wallet and have some LTAI token to have it running, which is the Liberty AI token. Let's say I want to have a good coder there. Hey, write some code to trade based on EMAs on Binance. I never tried this request. I might have some kind of a demo effect, but that could work. Yeah, it tells me to install CCXT, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, and then it creates a code that trades based on EMAs on Binance. The good part is that that's Python. And the whole framework I was talking about, which is on the agents there, is based in Python as well. So you can write code there, create functions, and just add them to your own agents. And then your agent will be able to trade on Binance based on EMAs for you, which is kind of cool. So yeah, well, it just wrote there my code, and yeah, and now if I and the agent part is not live yet. There is also a GitHub account of Liberty AI that I can probably share. And the GitHub of Liberty AI, you have all the repos, and the Liberty AI agent is there. It's in private beta to deploy agents. If you need help to like do it, just contact us. We can give you a private beta access, and then you can deploy agents using it. But the whole code is there, and you can start playing with it. Reza, who is the lead developer at Liberty AI, did some demos. I can reply to like the tweet with.
I'm gonna the private beta, because this is something I want to try out. Private beta, you'll open an access for me, whatever, and then I can run the agent through code.
Yeah, Exactly.
Because you
Basically,
said you're
you
still
can look on
missing
one
the
or
Twitter
other.
connection. You're still missing the Twitter connection.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we
you
are
have
still missing the
on-chain, which is even better, because like you can do actions on-chain with those Liberty AI agents. They can trade for you. You just need to hook it up to Twitter somehow. I'm sure you guys are working on that feature. And then you have a fully functional agent. This agent can do marketing or code or development or research. You can pay this agent. This agent can order you pizza. I want an agent that orders me a pizza when the code is done. Like code is done, pizza, you get pizza. So that's kind of that's incredible. I think we're getting to the end of the show. Thank you guys for a wonderful hour. We heard about like it's only in this Web3 section can you connect cartoon frogs and the future of AI. Like the age of abundance is looking hella weird. So it's always a pleasure to be in conversation with like-minded journeymen who have experienced the highs and the lows. Before we sign off, is there any closing thoughts you want to say? Anything that you want to sort of that the listeners have to know going into 2025 if they want to make it here in crypto?
Just want to say thanks for having us, guys. Really appreciate the time. If you guys want to follow Jooce on Twitter, it's Jooce_coin. We've got an airdrop coming. We've got a pre-sale coming very soon. So follow it. All the information is going to be there. And we look forward to getting this out to you guys very soon.
Yeah.
Well, same. Thank you for having us. It was really great. It was really a pleasure to be there. And yeah, just follow us on Twitter, Aleph IM, Liberty I Die, etc. And I mean, closing thoughts. AGI is coming. Just be prepared.
Cool. Did you hear that, all you bots out there? AI is coming. So
we didn't have any bots. We had no bots today. I want to answer a few questions before we go. I'm going to make this quick.
Time on the internet with no bots, you are so delusional, man. So delusional. That engagement we got today is organic. Well, thank you for the human. But come on, man. Gotta be some bots.
You never know where the bots are coming from. Like the bots, everyone has their own bots, and every one bot will get a bots are like Hasidim. They hear that the rabbi is somewhere. They have to be somewhere, and everyone automatically auto follows. Like there's no question. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna retweet. That's why I love bots. You can learn something from bots. But I want to answer Hernan's question and one more question that I got before I take it to Madi to close us off. Hernan says, how much do Michael say the bots really impact the price of the state? I think tremendous. I think Saylor has been one of the only bidders, really. The institution, Saylor and the ETF, been buying a lot. So definitely, 189,000 Bitcoin in less than 3 weeks is a ton of bar pressure. So it's going all the way up. And then we also had a question from the group earlier. I have a friend who was a bit of a DJ, and he, was wondering, he wants to get back involved in the DJ world. He went a bit corporate for a while, and he left the scene. He is not in the, left crypto Twitter, left off. I want to tell him what to get involved with, where to look, what to look out for. And there's never been a better show to summarize that than today. We spoke about Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin is something you should be watching, and MicroStrategy and that whole corporate, side of it, because the macro determines what happens in the rest of the industry. But I think if you're looking at the rest of the industry for plays, it's memes and culture and AI. Like that, those are the two meta plays here. Everything else is, there's a AI, obviously, as we discussed, needs infrastructure, it needs storage, it needs compute, it needs a whole bunch of frameworks to make it work. But the end result, what that matters is that the agentic economy, as Oliver mentioned it, and all that wrapped up in hype and cults, in memes and communities. That's what you should be watching out for. So you get back on Twitter. Like the FOMO will kill you from time to time, but you will be, you get a Twitter right now. X is a front row seat to the abundant future, to the accelerated future. You're seeing SpaceX launches, and then AIXPT will comment on the SpaceX launch and tell you what meme coin is going to pump now that SpaceX launched a payload. So this is the world we're living in, and we're living in it now. And I've always loved the quote. I forgot who said it, but the future is here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. So we're kind of at the far end, you know, on the bell curve in terms of being, you know, where the future is at. The future's already touched our world. Other people out there aren't so aware. So it's our job to bring them into the space in a way that's comfortable and safe and enjoyable and be a welcoming force. Mati, any closing thoughts from you before we sign off?
You said it, man. We're 10 minutes late already. Just close this thing already.
Hey, see you next week. I think we might have a show next week. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, if we don't, then have a wonderful holiday period wherever you are. You probably, unless you're in Israel, you're probably going to go away with the family, enjoy a little bit of holiday time. So make that special. And we'll see you back in 2025.